Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Win with Sports, your best chance to win. And now, are you ready for some football? Here with all your professional inside sports tips and advice, the most successful sports handicapping service, your host, Chris Long.
Hey guys, this is Chris Long with the Win with Sports radio show. We have here our third episode. Today I will be joined by Jim Miller, as always. Jim, how's it going today?
Well, Chris, I think you know how it's going. We had another great week, and this season so far has been a lot of fun. We've made a lot of money for our players, and I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And, when you call us, we're going to give you the winners of the games, but we're also going to teach you what to look for. So we do, some things that are a little bit different than the conventional services. And, we've had a lot of fun, and we enjoy helping our players learn how to handicap games on their own.
Hey, Jim, thanks for that little intro. Now, what Jim is talking about, if you want to get your winners, we're going to go with our phone number, which is 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. Or you can join us at winwithsports.net on the net, and that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. You can take and listen to our podcast. We have our last three episodes that are on there. Jim, I think we're 16-3 over those three episodes. I'm going to go over some winners that we had last week. Those are our high roller games. I just want to lead into something. We've been offering our high roller games for those of you who bet over $1,000. Those are the best games that we have to offer, and those are the games that you're going to get, like last week were Army, Notre Dame, Michigan, and Akron. We'll go over those, how easy they were. But I want to say something. I'm getting a lot of guys that are calling me, and they're saying, Chris, I want your high roller games, but I don't bet $1,000 a game. What do I do? Now, Jim, it's very simple. For me, I know the results. I know we're going to win, and if I tell you, if I knew the result for tomorrow's game, how much could you get on it? So I'm enticing you. I want you to bet more. I want you to get out of your comfort zone. But that doesn't mean you cannot get the high roller plays if you don't bet $1,000. I want it to be made worth your while. So that's why we say that. So we have a little caveat. The high roller plays are for guys who bet over $1,000 a game. But if you want to call me, and we'll figure out how to get them to you, we'll figure out a plan for you. So those high roller games, just give me a call and use the code word high roller. In addition to that, we have free games this week. We will give you the winners of Temple, Boston College, Ohio State, Penn State. Then on Sunday, the Dolphins and the Pats, and the Browns and the Raiders. That's 2 free winners on Saturday and 2 free winners on Sunday. Please give us a call, 1-833-95-SPORT or winwithsports.net. All right, Jim, with that being said, we're going to recap like we always do some games that we went over. One of the games that was a pretty easy winner, we'll start off with the United States Service Academy here over at Army. Army plus the 31 over Oklahoma. We gave that out. Never a sweat, 28-21. It actually went to overtime. Jim, go ahead and take us away. Let us know what you liked about Army.
Well, when the line came out, the line came out high. I mean, Oklahoma has bigger, stronger, faster players. Do they want to come out and embarrass Army? I mean, these guys they serve our country. They're not going to be embarrassed. And this happens all the time. I spot these games when they come out before the season starts. Oklahoma can name their score when they play a team like Army. But are they going to embarrass them? No, they're not going to do it. We don't even need information on that game. We had information a couple of weeks ago with Notre Dame and Ball State, 30 miles apart. They could have named the score. Same situation, Oklahoma and Army. They could name the score. The line dropped to 29.5. And when it dropped to 29.5, that raised an eyebrow with me. I said, there's no way. There's no way. They're the inferior team, and money came down with Army. But I liked them ahead of time. I just knew they weren't going to embarrass the armed forces.
Yeah, that's some good points there from Jim. And again, I'm going to go over we have a team of guys. Jim is just part of the team. We have 4 to 5 guys, like I said, watching every game. We have some math guys that crunch the numbers with the computer, but you need to do a little bit of both. We need some numbers, and we also need guys who are football guys. Jim Miller, that's all he does is watch football all day long. If you were ever to come into our office, you'll see, 8 50-inch TVs right in front of us. We can watch any game we like. And also I can go over, my background And like we always have to say, we're always gearing this show to the first-time listener. So if this is your third time back with us, sometimes I repeat myself. But I started out as a clerk. I used to be a wagering clerk down in Costa Rica and Panama and Curacao. I hopped around. I was a loser. I was getting my brains beat in. I had no idea what was going on. I lose every week, just like 99% of everyone out there. Well, then I would see some guys come in, Jim, they would bet, and they would win. I would see a phone call come in, and the game would move 2 points, and I'm saying, who the hell is on the other end of that line? I want to know what that guy knows. And the same guys were winning week after week after week. I developed these relationships with some people. I have guys that I can call all over the place. I have clerks lined up in Costa Rica or Curacao or Panama. Pay them a couple of bucks to see who X, Y, and Z are on. So that's my background. You know, I turned myself into a winner. We have a whole team of guys like me. We all know what to look for. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our high roller games, which is our bets package out there. Give us a call. Use code word high roller. All right? You want to call 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678, or you can listen to us on the web at winwithsports.net. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. We have the best information out there. Like I said, just for calling, I'm going to give you the free winners of Temple Boston College, Ohio State and Penn State in colleges on Saturday. And then on Sunday, call us back, and you'll get the Dolphins and the Pats and the Browns and the Raiders. 2 free winners on Saturday, 2 free winners on Sunday, absolutely free. And also, guys, call up and ask for that high roller package, 1-833-95-SPORT. Jim, I told the guys a little bit about ourselves, told the guys a little bit about what we do and what we can do for you. I want to look at another game that you came up with for us, and that's Notre Dame minus 6.5 versus Wake Forest, 56-27 final. Jim, take us away on Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame beat a good Michigan team week 1. They came back as a big favorite against Ball State. We had information on that game. They weren't going to embarrass Ball State. And then they played, who did they play in week 3? Well, not Wake Forest. They played, they were a 13.5-point favorite at home. They didn't have to blow this team out either. They kind of cakewalked those next 2 games. But when they went on the road, and they played a fairly good Wake Forest team. They had a quarterback change. The line dropped. We love Notre Dame. We just knew that it was time for them to get back on, get back into what they do best. They're a top 10 team. They have Stanford coming up this week. They had to show a little bit of strength, and they just manhandled Wake Forest. These are the games that we circled in the beginning of the week, and we just zeroed in. Come Friday, it was one of our big plays.
And with that game, Jim, as Jim was saying, they made that quarterback change. They went from Wimbush to Brook, and he was heads and shoulders above Wimbush. And they just came out, and they had to show what they were made of. And Jim actually alluded that to last week. He talked about Notre Dame having to show their mettle, and it was a 56-27 blowout. So, guys, those are the types of games you're going to get with us. Those are our high roller games. Please give us a call, 1-833-95-SPORT. or 1-833-957-7678. Or you can reach us on the web at winwithsports.net. That's what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. So give us a call. Chris Long, Jim Miller. We will be answering the phone, okay? You're not going to get some rinky-dink salesman that has no idea what's going on. We will be the people, the same people you hear on the radio. Give us a call, please, and we'll be back with our next segment.
You're listening to the Win with Sports radio show. Call us at 833-957-7678. That's 833-957-7678. Once more, that's 833-95-SPORT. Or visit us online at winwithsports.net and start winning today.
Hey guys, this is Chris Long back again with you for segment 2 of our 3rd radio show. This is Win with Sports radio show. I'm Chris Long, and I'm joined always by Mr. Jim Miller, who's on my left. Jim, how's it going today?
It's going great, Chris. I mean, we're just having fun. It's we do the work and we're successful, and it's very rewarding. And our players are very appreciative. I just wish that they would just listen to us a little bit more and not delve out into their own picks and just listen to what we tell them. And the bottom line is, at the end of the year, they'll win money. So.
Yeah, Jim, it's pretty funny when I have a week like last week where we go 6-1. And I call my guys up like it's Christmas morning, and I'm like, Jesus, man, can you believe we went 6-1? That's amazing. You should be buying a new car. And the guy will turn to me, yeah, I won, but, I went 6-4. So how the hell did you go 6-4? Well, I like this game and I like that game. Jim, we cannot stand when people tell us that. We put our hard-earned money into these picks. We do a lot of work. When guys go and bet on their own and they lose, it's just not fun.
Yeah, I start on Tuesday, and I circle about 10 games, and come Friday, we're down to 5 or 6, including the pros. But, we gamble, but we're not gamblers. If you're looking for a bunch of games to satisfy your fix or whatever you need, we're not about that. We're about narrow it down to the 5 best games on the board, and we expect to go 5-0. We don't get surprised by that. We don't spike the ball. We do the work. And when you do the work and you have the experience and you have the resources that we have, you're going to be successful. So starting out, we just urge that when you call, listen to what we tell you. If you go out off on your own, you are not going to be successful. It's just proven.
Perfect. And, Jim, when we say you're going to call, here's what you're going to call. You're going to call 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. Or you can visit us on the web at winwithsports.net. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. Check us out either on the phone or the net. Now, just for calling, guys, just for calling this show, you're going to get the winners of Temple, BC, Ohio State, Penn State, that's 2 on Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday, the Dolphins and the Patriots, and the Browns and the Raiders. 2 winners Saturday, 2 winners Sunday, absolutely free. And, guys, you get that just for calling. Those are the free plays. Now, there's also the high roller games, the games that Jim and I talk about each week on this show. We'll recap all the winners that we've had. Those are for guys that bet over $1,000 a game. We want you to have the best information on the net. It's the 3-game package, and you're guaranteed to win. We look at certain games, like we already told you about Army and Notre Dame. A couple other games that we had. Jim, I'm going to start off with the team that we picked against a couple of times. Michigan minus 18.5 over Nebraska. 56-10 winner. I think we faded Nebraska a couple times. We're not sure if Scott Frost is ready for the big time yet. Jim, take us away on that game.
The first thing that got my attention was Michigan opened up a 20-point favorite. Now, when has Nebraska ever gotten 20 points? That's the first thing that just lit up in my mind was Nebraska never gets 20 points. Now, Martinez, the starting quarterback, is now probable. The line dropped to 17. You could have 100 Martinez's. They were not going to beat Michigan. And anytime Nebraska gets that many points, that raises an eyebrow with me. I knew they were going down. And I just cannot bet Nebraska anymore. Not with them, not against them. Not with them, that's for certain. They don't have my confidence. That program has been downhill ever since Tom Osborne left.
Yeah, and the same thing with on the Michigan side. They had that tough loss against Notre Dame. We were talking about big things for Harbaugh. This is like a make-or-break year for Harbaugh. I mean, he's been there. He's got all the accolades. He's all over ESPN. Everyone's talking about Michigan this, Michigan that, Michigan this. And they just haven't been able to get over the top. Now, with that loss, Jim, they're out there trying to get some style points. We know what style points are. That means, they could have probably beat this team by 30, but you know what? They kept on going. They kept running it down their throat. A 56-10 final looks a lot better in the newspaper. So 56-10 for Michigan over Nebraska. I mean, we never had to sweat. I mean, they were up 30 points in the first half. They were running all over the place. And those are the kind of games you're going to get with us. Those are our high roller games, and I can't stress enough. You guys got to give me a call, and you got to be betting these games. If you're gambling anywhere, you have to be betting our high roller games. Give me a call, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678, or check us out on the web, winwithsports.net. You can check out every podcast on there. And, guys, as you listen, go to that site and listen to it. You can pick up some little tidbits on what Jim and I do. Not only are we giving you winners, we're trying to prepare you to be winners overall. I mean, you're not just getting the winner, you're getting a reason on why we think it's a winner. All right, Akron plus 20 versus Iowa State. This game they lost, but they covered. I mean, the final was 26-13, but believe me when I tell you it wasn't that close. I mean, I think Iowa State scored probably the last 13, maybe 10, to make it look like it was a little bit of a blowout. 26-13 is safely under the 20-point spread that we had. Jim, what did you like about Akron?
Well, Akron beat Northwestern a week before, and I think the word was that, Iowa State winless coming home. Akron made this season by beating Northwestern. Not too many people looked into, the previous meeting where Akron got blown out by Iowa State the year before. And Akron's a pretty good team. If they can come out and they can play Northwestern tough, I can come back with them 2 weeks in a row. And when that line opened up 19.5 and some big pro handicapper came out with Iowa State as the game of the year, and the line moved to 20.5. That's when I got in at 20.5. I gave my players the game at 20.5. Akron doesn't have to win the game outright. They can lose and cover, which they did, which I probably thought they were going to do. Iowa State's the better team, but coming home, it was easy to take Iowa. They hadn't won a game. They can win and not cover, and that's what they did.
All right, guys, as always, we don't win every play. We don't guarantee to win every play. We are going to win more than we lose, and you can see right now we're hitting about 80%. Do I know if that's sustainable? No, I don't. But we did have a loser, and usually when you lose a game with us, it's usually because something really stupid happened. And we had Oregon +3 versus Stanford. I don't know if anybody watched that game. Jim, the score was Oregon 24, Stanford 7, and they had a first and goal at the 1-yard line. I saw the ESPN Fangraphs. They were about a 99% favorite to cover there. Lo and behold, they fumbled on the 1. It was picked up by Stanford, ran back for a touchdown. Long story goes that Oregon, all they had to do was take 3 knees with 53 seconds to go. The coach, for whatever reason, don't know why, decided to run the ball. They fumbled. Stanford came down, kicked the game-winning field goal, and then won 38-31 in overtime. Guys, Army, Notre Dame, Michigan, Akron, that's what you're looking at, okay? 4 winners, 4 easy winners. We did go 4-1. We did lose Oregon, but it takes like an act of God for us to lose these games. I mean, that's how good these games are. Please, high roller games, 4-1. Army over Oklahoma, Notre Dame over Wake Forest, Michigan over Nebraska, Akron over Iowa State, and Oregon over Stanford. 4-1 we went last week, guys. Please give us a call, 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678 or winwithsports.net. You can get us on the web there, and that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. Just for calling, guys, you're going to get 4 free games. The winners of Temple, BC, Ohio State, Penn State, and then 2 more on Sunday, the Dolphins and the Pats and the Browns and the Raiders. 2 free Saturday, 2 free Sunday just for calling. Take care, guys.
You're listening to the Win with Sports radio show. Call us at 833-957-7678. That's 833-957-7678. Once more, that's 833-95-SPORT. Or visit us online at winwithsports.net and start winning today.
Hey guys, this is Chris Long back with you again with Jim Miller. This is our 3rd segment. We'll call this one the NFL segment. Jim Miller is always with me, my trusty left-hand guy in the studio right now. How's it going, Jim?
It's going great, Chris. We had another good Sunday. We are really very good. We're really sharp with the pros. We've been having a very good year so far.
Yeah, so the funny thing about that is we usually make our hay in the colleges. Colleges are a lot easier for us to beat. If you can just think about it, there's 100 games or so on a Saturday. The lines makers, they're very good, but they're not perfect. So if they've got to put 100 games up, we can probably find 5 mistakes. The NFL, you got 32 teams, you got 16 games. It's really hard to really select it, but we've been killing it in the NFL this year. I mean, we usually win both sports. College is usually better, but this week, couple of weeks has been an aberration. This week we had the Seahawks over the Cowboys and the Lions over the Pats. Jim Miller will be with us in a second just to explain our thought process on those. But, guys, what I need you to do is call us 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678, or you can reach us on the web at winwithsports.net. That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. Guys, this week, just for calling, we're going to give you free games, 4 free games. Who doesn't like free games? The winners of Temple, BC, the winner of Ohio State, Penn State, and then on Sunday, our NFL games will be the Dolphins versus the Patriots and the Browns versus the Raiders. 2 winners on Saturday, 2 winners on Sunday, 833-95-SPORT. Jim, Last week we went 2-0 in the NFL. It's becoming a regular theme with us. We haven't had too many NFL losers this week or in this season. So the first game I want to look at is the Seahawks -1 over the Cowboys. We had the Seahawks. We had a 24-13 winner. Take us away, Jim. What do you think?
Well, Dallas looked so good on the nationally televised game against the Giants, and they're traveling to Seattle, a winless Seattle team. What is Seattle going to go 0-3 and the season be over? I mean, teams that go 0-3, they have a 4% chance of making the playoffs. Seattle's season was not going to be over. They were not going to go 0-3. Dallas looked very good on TV in front of a national audience. The line dictated that Seattle was probably weak playing at home. They have that reputation of having the 12th man in Seattle with the crowd. And that line, you would normally grab the one because it was so cheap, but we laid it. We thought it was time for Seattle to break out and show exactly what they can do. And Seattle's still a good team. They got Russell Wilson. They got Carson in the backfield. And they've always had a good defense. And I just think that the Dallas offense is on the road. I don't trust them. I thought that laying one was a gift. We had it early. We gave it to our players. And they were happy.
All right, and, just taking a look at that game, just like Jim is saying, this is a thought process we go through. I mean, the Seahawks, everyone was telling them they were terrible. They were garbage team. They got off to a terrible start. They're coming home. They got to circle this game. Guys, if we start 0-3, we're pretty much just throwing the season away. I mean, they could still end up 2-14. We don't know. But this game was circled. This is a game they had to beat. They had to beat an undermanned Cowboys team that has problems all over the offensive line. Dak Prescott is still not adjusting to life without Dez Bryant. I mean, he looks lost out there. I mean, the Cowboy fans are begging for the days of Tony Romo. But the Seahawks were in a great spot, and this is what we love about the NFL. We can pick on a team and pick against a team week to week. I mean, you're never as good as you look in week 1. You're never as bad as you look in week 2. So the bounce factor. Seahawks -1, easy winner over the Cowboys. Jim, I just want to talk. It's not a game that we bet. But last week on the show, we told you, and you can listen to this podcast, it's on there. We picked against the Buffalo Bills 2 weeks in a row. We laughed when we saw this line come out 17, and I told you, we are not going against the Buffalo Bills. Did I know that they were going to beat the Vikings? Of course I didn't. But that's exactly what, they look like the worst team in the NFL, and they just handed it to the Vikings. I mean, it's just amazing how many people lost their money on the Vikings. We didn't win the game, so I'm not tooting my horn. But we didn't lose it. We stayed off that loser. So that's what you can expect from us, guys. Give us a call, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678 or winwithsports.net. You can reach us on the net. You will get the free winners, guys, of Temple, BC, Ohio State, Penn State, and then on Sunday, the Dolphins and the Pats and the Browns on the Raiders. That's 2 winners Saturday, 2 winners Sunday. And we have our high roller games for guys that bet over $1,000 a game. Please give me a call. Use code word high roller. You will get games like the Seahawks. You will get games like Army, Notre Dame, Michigan, Akron. These are games that are no-brainers. Sometimes the guys are complaining that they don't even have to sweat, Jim. The games are so easy they don't even get entertained on it. So let's see. Our other game in the NFL, which was not the Bills versus the Vikings, it's going to be the Lions versus the Pats. The Lions were +7 versus the Pats. They were a 26-10 outright dog winner. Jim, what do you like about the Lions?
Well, the Lions looked pathetic in Week 1 against the Jets. They just seem listless, no energy, and it was easy to bet New England coming off that loss to Jacksonville. Looked like a patsy with the Lions, but that isn't always the case. It was a nationally televised game, and a lot of times, we stay away from them unless we really like it, and we really like the Lions in this spot. They've got a tough pass rush. I kind of felt like they were going to put pressure on Brady most of the night, and if you get in Brady's face, he's not as effective, and that pass rush with Ziggy Ansah and the rest of those guys, they made life tough for them. And it's tough to lay 7 on the road, regardless of who you're playing. And it was time for the Lions to put one in the win column, and they did that.
All right, guys, and if you can see, the Lions, that was the Sunday night matchup that was on national TV for everyone. These guys in Vegas got rich, my friends. I mean, everyone got crushed on Sunday, and they came out of the woodworks to chase, and everyone was Pats, 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 Pats. That's all they did. But you know what? The Win with Sports, guys, we run the Lions. We went against everybody. Jim Miller, Chris Long, we gave out the Lions +7. Again, another easy winner. That's what you're going to expect from us. Guys, give us a call, please. High roller games. You're going to call us 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678, or you can reach us on the net at winwithsports.net. Guys, the high roller games, this is what you can expect every week. I can't stress enough. Don't try to do it on your own. The 99% of sports gamblers lose. There's only 1% that win, and we are in that 1%. There's other guys that win out there, but this is the best place that you can get plays. Get in this week, guys. We have a real nice dog that's going to win outright. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Got to give me a call to figure that out, but I have one of our stronger plays of the season. It goes Saturday late in the afternoon, Jim. We got this one circled. We're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on that one. So, guys, please, 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. Reach us on the net at winwithsports.net. That's what you're going to do. You're going to win with sports. Okay, I got my guys out there working to get the winners for you. And just for calling, guys, we're going to give you the winners of free games here, free stuff, Temple, BC, Ohio State, Penn State. And then on Sunday, we're going to come back with the Dolphins and the Pats, the Browns and the Raiders. That's 2 free winners on Saturday, 2 free winners on Sunday. Free games, guys. Temple, BC, Ohio State, Penn State, Dolphins, Pats, Browns, Raiders. We should go 4-0 with those games. Jim, we got about 40 seconds to go. Anything you'd like to add?
Well, like you said before, Chris, the average player, they can't do it on their own. They don't have the resources that we have. We have trainers, we have former players, we have boosters, and they're the best of boosters because these guys are the ones that are in the locker room. They know what's going on. They call us, and they put the stamp on the games that we already have circled. So when we get a call from any one of these guys, we release the play, and it's gold.
Thanks,
gold.
Jim. Appreciate it. Guys, this is Chris Long and Jim Miller signing off. We'll get back to you next week, and congratulations, Tiger Woods.
Thanks for joining us today on Win with Sports, your best chance to win. Join us again next week for all your professional inside sports tips and advice. On behalf of your host, Chris Long, make it a winning week by visiting winwithsports.net.